"Excuse me," one of them asked. "What is your relationship to the child holding this camera?" The sound of the doorbell echoed through the warm, festive living room, sharp and jarring, cutting through the tension that had settled over the room like a thick fog. Mom froze mid-step, her hand hovering near the doorknob, a scowl still etched on her face from her outburst moments earlier. The crumpled shreds of my family portrait lay scattered on the floor at her feet, pieces of our happy family torn apart, just like everything else. Sam, who had been standing beside her, snickering at the chaos he'd helped stir, suddenly went quiet, his eyes widening as he caught sight of the two uniformed officers through the window beside the door. Grandma's hand flew to her chest, her face draining of color, a silent premonition settling over her. Grandpa, who had been glaring at Dad, his jaw tight with anger and disappointment, stepped forward, his posture stiffening, as if he already knew what the officers were about to say. Mom's hand trembled as she pulled open the door, her voice cracking, the anger in her tone replaced by a nervous, forced calm. "Can I help you, officers? We're in the middle of a family reunion dinner." Her words died in her throat when her eyes locked onto the small, blood-stained object in the taller officer's hand. It was my camera, the one she'd tossed out the car window hours earlier, its plastic casing scraped and dented, the lens smudged with dark, dried red that made my invisible chest ache. The other officer held a crumpled photo, and even from where I floated near the ceiling, I could see my small, blue-coated figure on it, lying in the middle of the highway's asphalt, the white snow around me stained pink and red. Mom's face turned as white as the snow outside, her knees buckling, and Dad rushed forward to catch her, his own face ashen, his glasses slipping down his nose. The taller officer stepped into the foyer, his expression somber, his voice low and steady. The kind of voice people use when they have to say the worst things imaginable. "Ma'am, sir, we're with the State Highway Patrol. We received a call about a pedestrian accident on Interstate 87 approximately 3 hours ago. A young girl, 6 years old, matching the description of your daughter, Chloe Bennett?" He paused, his eyes sweeping over the stunned faces in the room, landing on the shreds of my drawing on the floor, on Sam's wide, terrified eyes, on Grandma's quivering lips. "We found this camera on her person at the scene. The GPS tracker on it led us here. We're sorry to inform you that she did not survive the collision. The driver of the semi-truck that hit her called 911 immediately, but she was gone before the ambulance arrived." The words hung in the air, heavy and cold, a death knell that shattered the fragile calm of the New Year's Eve gathering. Mom let out a blood-curdling scream, the kind that comes from the deepest, darkest part of a person's soul, and she collapsed into Dad's arms, her body shaking so hard I thought she might break. "No," she whimpered over and over, her hands clawing at Dad's back. "That's not possible. Her GPS was moving. She was coming home. She was cheating, taking a ride. She wasn't hurt. This is a mistake, a terrible mistake." Dad held her tight, but his own body was trembling, his eyes fixed on the blood-stained camera, and I could see the tears welling up in them, the guilt crashing over him like a wave. He'd hesitated. He'd doubted me. He'd let Mom send me out into the cold, and now I was gone. Grandma sank into the nearest armchair, her hands covering her face, silent sobs racking her body, and Grandpa knelt beside her,